Hello, friends, galactic people, interstellar friends. We are so happy to be here. This is Carlene Saelg with Interstellar Chats, your host for today, and here with my lovely co-hosts.
Hello, I am Kristin Anderson.
And
I'm James.
hi, James. We're so excited to get started because today we're talking again about flat Earth. And we have a lot to say because we think it's multidimensional.
Yes.
And this is why people are stuck on the fact that they in their minds think that there is a flat Earth. And then there's this whole majority of people who are like, you're crazy. We see this globe. We see it as a round circular Earth globe, right? And then some people are like, yeah, but also we're also in 5D. So we are truly multidimensional. But Kristin, you're going to lead us off on what you think about this whole 2D aspect of really thinking that flat Earth is real.
Yes. Okay, so I was watching another podcast, and they were talking about flat Earth and round Earth, and that flat Earth is real. It's just in 2D. But some of us, most of us, are in
more
3D, right?
Yeah.
2D is a flat, it's two-dimensional. And there are beings and a consciousness that lives in 2D. And then there's 3D, then there's 4 and 5, and we keep going up. These are the different dimensions of reality, which all of us contain all the different dimensions. So if you look at like the quantum physics of things, right? We exist in all these planes simultaneously, and what we get to choose to experience is what we put our attention on. Yes? Are you following me?
Yes, I'm so with you. Totally with you.
There was that whole experiment with, I believe it was like an atom. Is it an atom or like a particle?
Yes.
Where they looked at the particle and it was there. But as soon as they looked away, the particle disappeared. Where did it go? It didn't actually go anywhere because when they looked back, it appeared in the same place. It just, where your attention is, that's where you reside. So you have these consciousness beings in 2D, and for them, Earth is flat. It's 2D, which makes total sense. So people in 3D, 4D, 5D are moving, their vibration is moving up, and their experience of reality is shifting with that consciousness that's moving. So if you listen to ever Matthias DeStefano on, have you listened to his whole thing? So he breaks down all the different dimensions and what sort of consciousness and being lives in those dimensions, which is really fascinating to me. There's also, I want to say Robert, I can never remember his full name. It's Robert something, from the Vesica Institute. You know about the Vesica Institute? He does this meditation that is like, you go through the chakras, the energy seals of the body, and you activate each of your energy seals. But you're really in the energy seals, you're drawing the 3-dimensional tetrahedron above the top half of your body, and you're drawing it on your bottom half of your body, this tetrahedron, right? So now you've got the double tetrahedron, which is the Merkaba, right? So I remember when I heard this, and this is when I found out, and I told you this, that the Merkaba is your vehicle for travel, right? But when I gave
much more than that, but yes,
when I gave birth to my child, I left my body and I was in this golden tunnel of light, and I've always been looking for this gold, but very specifically, it was oppositely rotating geometric star pattern that was kind of doing this
because it spirals
and it was worming.
Swirls. Yes.
So it's worming, it's turning. It was this golden, brilliant white light.
You were in your Merkaba.
Yes. So, but the thing about it was that the way that I realized where I was, my brother first told me, oh, sacred geometry. So I'm like, okay, sacred geometry. Yes. I looked that up. And then I learned about the torus field of the body, right? Which is your light body. This is your light body. And it's the same as the tetrahedron, the Merkaba. One level is going out and up, right? It's coming from the earth and going up to the sky. The other level is going the other way down.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like a donut, and it's rotating and swirling and going in both of these directions. Now, when you close your eyes and you're in there, when you think about it in your body, and this is where we start shifting dimensions, because you're in 3D. So you're seeing this donut around you if you visualize it. But in the center of the donut, there's a hole. And if you're standing in it and you're looking this way, you're not seeing anything. But when you remove the body and you move into the next level of consciousness, you're not looking this way. You're looking through the hole this way.
So you feel like you're in a tunnel.
And it's a tunnel of light, of oppositely rotating geometric pattern, right? So that's like the shift into the 5D, or who knows what level that is when you get to that. But then your experience of Earth is definitely not flat at that point, right? You're round. So, okay, so back to Earth. So there's like multi-Earths, right? So if we think about all the different levels, the 7 levels.
Kristin just blew our minds.
The 7 levels of reality, and we're all in there, just like that atom. Wherever your consciousness goes, that's what you get to experience. You want flat Earth, you got it. You want 5D Earth, you got it. You want 7D Earth, you got it. But you can't imagine it because you're still here right now, right? But there's an Earth in all those different places.
So this
And
is
all you have to
definitely
do is
go ahead.
tune in energetically to get there. So now we go back to the Mandela effect that we
Wait,
talked about. Okay,
But
go.
this is when we come back to our perception is our reality.
Yes.
Right? So
This is
whatever we
back to-
perceive is our reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
So back to the Mandela effect that we talked about a couple episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
Where some people are experiencing COVID, full hospitals, lots of dead people. Some people are experiencing, there's not a body there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the shifting that we're going through right now, the Great Awakening, the waking up. We're shifting timelines. If you are, and we talked about this, I think, before, if you are like you and me and you, James, where we're on that cusp, where we know some people who saw full hospitals, some who saw nothing.
Yeah.
Some we're on that edge. We're here because we're actually above it, watching down. We're at that next level of vibration where you can look down and see both paths. Right? Because you're the wanderer who has come back. You're the wanderer who has come back here to help facilitate this shift, to help facilitate Earth into the next vibration, to help facilitate people who are feeling stuck, who are waking up, who don't know what to do next with all this information,
Okay.
to get them to move to the next level of the next
So
vibration of the higher Earth.
my next question is,
Yes.
are these people who are thinking that flat Earth is their reality,
Mm.
are they devolving and not evolving, right? Because we are here to learn lessons, to raise our vibration, and to get to the next level of dimensions or densities, right? So we
Yeah.
are trying to become more of who we were always meant to be, but who is choosing to go backwards?
I mean, that's the fear. And so you've got people living in fear and people living in love, right? These are the two. These are your two paths. These are your two choices.
Yes.
You're going to live in fear or you're going to live in love. You get to choose. No one
Which
gets to tell
affects your
you.
vibration.
Yes, that's everything.
That is everything.
Right?
Yes.
So if you look through the lens of fear, you're going to remain on this particular Earth that has a lot of death and destruction coming.
Right. So remember this, fear encompasses negativity, lack, scarcity, all the things that are in the darker, lower vibrational feelings and emotions. So that is what is keeping you stuck, no longer feel like you are experiencing joy or
Yeah.
you can't manifest.
Yeah,
All,
yeah.
all the things where you're like, even depression,
Yeah.
all of those things are stuck in the lower vibrations.
The bigger problem with that is not just the stuff that you're experiencing in your life. Well, actually, that is it, because that's your consciousness and your experience of Earth. So Earth is the same Earth. It's different vibrations of the same Earth. Wherever you vibrate is what you're going to experience. So the people who are starting to move into love and loving yourself, this is the most important thing you can do, is love yourself and your body.
Where
And then
does
you're going to start.
neutrality,
Say that
where
again.
does neutrality fit in? What if you're neutral?
A neutrality?
Mhm.
Well, I
So
think
you're
Yeah,
that,
saying,
go ahead.
I think
Yeah.
that pertains to experiencing or relating to other people and circumstances, and that actually is a very high vibrational thing, being neutral, because you're observing, you're being the watcher, right? So you are absolutely still in high vibration because you're not reacting negatively or even positively, you're just noticing, right? You're just experiencing without emotion. But then you get to choose, what do you do with that? So neutrality is very, very important, but it has to do with your relationship to the circumstance or the person or the situation that's happening. So a little bit different, right? Important, but a little bit different.
Yeah, I feel like the neutrality, your neutrality to what you're witnessing and what's happening with other people is, I feel like it's much easier than being neutral when things are happening to you specifically. Right? So if you're getting some sort of attack, how do you remain neutral and in love and just acceptance?
Right, because it would
Of
be
that.
an inappropriate experience or reaction to be like, someone's coming at you with anger and frustration, and you're like, oh, honey, I love you, right? That seems condescending.
I've
Even
done
though
it.
you might be trying to be high vibrational, the more
Yeah.
respectful place is to be neutral and just
Neutral.
allow it to
Mhm,
happen. And then
mhm.
you can step out of it when the emotion has flattened out or you've removed yourself, and then you can experience transmutation, right? Then you can move it into the higher vibrations.
Yeah. I don't know. Did any of that make sense? Because
Absolutely.
I'm on a
think
total
so,
roll. I could
yeah.
keep going. I
Yeah.
love the concept that the earth is one and in so many dimensions, though. And
Yes.
wherever you're,
Okay,
what
pause.
you believe is what you get.
Yes. And this is the whole thing about being of interstellar chats, right? Because we are talking about the multidimensionality of a human being.
Yes.
And this is exactly it. So if we're just boiling it down to flat earth and round earth, this is the whole example of multidimensionality. Interdimensional, yes, but multidimensional. Just talking about the different dimensions, right? So it's a perfect example.
Both are true.
Yes.
There is a flat earth and there is a round earth. They're both true.
But I'm still gonna have to sit with that one. I believe you.
Yeah.
I just have
Do
to
you get
sit
it?
with you.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I was like, no, okay, flat earth doesn't exist. But that's because we have evolved so far past
We're past that.
2D that we just can't even imagine it.
If you do sit with it, because if you're here now, then you have been there. You just don't remember. But if you sit with it, you can focus in on that and feel it and be like, oh, that's true. You've been a plant. You've been a rock. You've been all of these things. And like beings who have come from higher places all the way back down here, like us, you've been to all these dimensions. You just have to remember. It's like Matthias de Stefano talks about all the different dimensions.
But
and
so
what
does Dolores
resides there.
Cannon.
Dolores Cannon talks about that. There's so many people that talk. Ra talks about that.
Yes. So
There are
this
so
is
many
mind
teachers,
expansion
definitely.
with Kristin Anderson.
Yes.
Blowing our minds.
Yes.
But this is very interesting for us to think about. And I do want you, viewer, to please think about this instead of being reactionary, because just as I was very reactionary to people who are flat earthers, right? Because they're, okay, I'm pausing because the thought is coming into my mind that they are living still in a 3D body.
Mm.
So how are they experiencing a 2D reality? They can't be experiencing that. I think they're just still thinking about what it was like to be in the 2D,
Mhm.
but yet they've already evolved because they're in a 3D
They're
body.
here.
They're in a 3D environment.
Mhm.
Maybe they're just remembering.
Yeah.
Remembering, yes, and choosing to
Choosing.
not evolve. And that's why I'm saying
Are they
this is about,
devolving?
are they devolving?
Well, I
And
think
will they go away?
I think that
Who
right
knows?
now, that whole vibrational thing, I mean, that's what's going on, right? I mean, that's been going on. That's what we're doing here,
Yes,
is evolution forever. Like, that's the
Mhm.
deal. But you get to have that
you get to
experience,
choose.
whatever you want. You want to experience flat Earth, you get that. That's the creative brilliance of getting to come to Earth. You get to choose.
Yes, free
No
will.
one can tell you. You get the memory wipe. And then you get down here, and then you got to choose,
You got to choose.
you know, and you know,
You
good,
gotta
good for
choose.
you if you can remember some of these things. If you sit long enough, maybe you will.
Well, I choose to not believe in flat Earth because I'm already evolved enough to be past that and into my multidimensionalness, multidimensionality
Yeah.
of different experiences, especially in the 5 and 6D. I love being there, and I can see,
Mm.
just as you can see, when you're
Mhm.
outside of your body or you're traveling, you're in your
Mhm.
Merkaba, you can see the Earth.
Mhm.
And you can see it being round. So
Yeah.
we're not devolving, but some of you may be. Maybe if you're watching this channel, you're not devolving, but we just want to bring it up that there are certain people out there who believe that, and
Just
possibly they
think
are.
about it. That's all I'm saying. Just put that in your pipe and
But what's
smoke
good
it.
about this too, what's good about this is if we can keep this perspective,
Yeah.
we can avoid the argument. We can avoid the friction that keeps us stuck in duality,
Mhm.
right? It's okay to say, okay, you believe in flat Earth? Go about your business
Yeah.
and be okay with it. And we don't have to have an argument or
No.
a full-on discussion about why you believe it when there's pictures from space that show us that it's a globe, right? And then, well, that can be contrived and that could be made up and that could be fake technology and all the things, right? Why not just avoid that conversation because you know your truth and allow them to know their truth, right?
Yeah. 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 I mean, I really love to expand it into crazy places for sure, obviously, right?
I think
I
it's
love
fantastic.
I love the multidimensionality of reality, and that there's so much we just don't know. And it's weirder and wilder than we ever could imagine.
The veil is thinning.
The veil is thinning. Absolutely.
We're
Yeah.
seeing so much more, and it's all coming to us.
So my question is to the viewer, are you a flat earther or not? And if you are, we still love you, but put in the comments why you think you're possibly devolving or not. Okay, I'm being very comical right now. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
love it. I love it. No judgment.
No, no judgment.
No judgment.
But we will judge you later.
But we would love you to join us as we evolve.
Okay, with that being said, if you are a flat earther or you're not, just leave some comments. We'll come back and we'll talk to you in the comments.
Yeah, tell us what you think about that, because I would really love to hear your 2 cents
Yeah.
on that.
Or third dimensional sense. No.
Yeah. Your
Okay,
2D, your
thank
2D
you.
sense.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Interstellar Chats. We are your hosts, Carlene, Kristin, and James, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.